He was. He was going to carry Mary to Bethlehem. And who brought that message to George that he would be the one to carry Mary to Bethlehem? God. So he was a very special donkey, wasn't he? He was being used by God. Well, we're going to read on now. We continue on with George continued with the story, and he's still talking with Cletus and Clyde, his young donkeys. I did as the angel asked. I stayed close to Joseph, and then one morning in the early fall, Joseph came to fetch me. Augustus Caesar of the Roman Empire had ordered a census to be taken. He ordered every person to return to the town of their ancestors to be counted and pay taxes. Joseph was from the house of David in Bethlehem, and that is why he and Mary had to travel to Bethlehem. Joseph knew that this would be a grueling trip. Traveling with a wife that would soon give birth would be dangerous. But there was no choice. It was either the hard trip or severe punishment from the Roman government. Joseph put on my lead and gave me a gentle pat. I know you can do it, donkey, said Joseph. The trip will be very rocky and steep. I gave Joseph my best donkey smile and said, I am prepared. I was feeling strong and confident. He helped Mary climb on my back, and Joseph took the lead and walked beside Mary. We were on our way. Little did we know at the time how this journey would be told through generations to the end of time. We were not alone on this trip. There were others who were making the trip to Bethlehem as well. There was safety in numbers. Even in groups, it could be scary. Wild beasts and bandits lurked everywhere. The roads were rocky and steep. So many dangers for the lonely traveler, but we could help each other and keep each other company. There were two routes people might use, and neither was easy. The quickest route was 90 miles to the land we most wanted to avoid, the land of the Samaritans. Joseph simply couldn't bring himself to travel through Samaritan country. Traveling the long way would take them a full week. It would be a hard walk for Mary, and carrying a baby would mean more stops and resting. What was Mary like, Papa? Asked Cletus. What were the color of her eyes and hair, and how old was she? And was she kind to you, Papa? Asked Cletus. Whoa, Cletus. One question at a time. She had dark eyes that twinkled and skin that was smooth and olive. She always had her head covered, but from what I could see, her hair was black. But she wasn't chosen by God because of her looks. She was chosen because of her character. She was faithful and obedient. She was young and in her mid-teens, I'd say, and she was always kind to me. If she wanted me to do something, she would give me a gentle nudge. Mary knew how to handle a stubborn donkey. What was Joseph like? Asked Clyde. He was older than Mary, in his later 20s. In that culture, a Jewish man was usually several years older than his wife. Like Mary, he had black hair with sun-baked olive skin. His dark eyes were very kind, and he was very caring with Mary, even when the journey got hard. I remember it was the third day into the trip, and we were getting weary. We had to ration our food and water. They brought dry bread, oil, and herbs. They had bread in the morning, and at noon they had oil. In the evening they ate bread, oil, and herbs. Sometimes they would have a snack of dried fruit and nuts with a little bit of water from their wineskins. It was very important not to waste water. It was hard to get. What did you eat, Papa? Asked Cletus. I'm not a finicky eater. I would eat whatever I could find growing along the trail. We donkeys are pretty much at home in the desert wilderness. It wasn't long before we were heading into the forest near the cool waters of the Jordan. You must have been happy to get there, sighed Cletus. Well, said George, it was both good and bad. It was cooler, but there was also robbers. You never knew when one might jump out from behind a bush. We'll have to continue it online next week.